All right, y'all. If you want to stay alive in freezing, super freezing temperatures, I know there's places that are way colder, like negative degrees and whatnot. But today we had it in the little bit above the mid 20s. And it was so cold. My God, it was so cold. So I'm going to show you what I do to stay alive in freezing temperatures, below freezing temperatures, in a van. What has worked for me, you guys. Tried and true, and I'm still alive, and I'm here to talk about it. I've tried several things, but I can't even talk right because it's so cold. But the thing that works for me the best is what I'm going to share today. So it starts off with bundle up. Bundle up during the day. Whoa, sorry about that. Switching hands. Bundle up. Gloves. Mittens. These work better than these kind of gloves. And if you have to layer up, put these kind inside these kind, and just like the same thing. Jacket under a bigger jacket. Hat. A hoodie, etc., etc., etc. Layer up during the day. But for sleeping, guys, is what we're going to talk about. And you must have a sleeping bag or some huge, like super insulated type of comforter, something for freezing temperatures, guys, and below freezing temperatures. Now, of course, with the wind chill makes it even worse. But being inside a vehicle, inside a tent, inside a house, inside blah, 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 whatever happens to be, right? But we're talking about a van because that's what I'm in. I'm in a van. Yeah, this is a wind break, I guess. So that helps. And then you're in a smaller space. So that helps keep the temperature a little bit more regulated. But yes, what has saved me is definitely having a sleeping bag rated appropriately. Now mine is, I believe it's a 30 degree sleeping bag. But not only that, some of them are more of I don't know, this is pretty cold. This is pretty cold versus like a fleece blanket. So when you're first like crawling in your sleeping bag, it is cold. It is so cold. So what I like to do is even layer that. So I put 1, 2, or 3 blankets inside my sleeping bag. That's what I do. Let me show you. Today, I'm just showing you 2 different blankets. My go-to blankies. So this is this is actually a kid blanket. And it's really soft and it's warm. And it's a Hello Kitty one. And I like it. I like to cuddle to it because it's so soft. That helps kind of break the really cold material. And my usual comforter is this one right here. It's a twin size. It's kind of fluffy. It's from UGG. And it's upside down, but whatever. So I put both of these in here. Minimum, guys, minimum. Like with super freezing temperatures, this is what I do. So let me kind of show y'all. I just put this one at the bottom. And if it's big enough, these are both for twin size. But if they're bigger, you can always fold them and make them a lot more fluffy. So this one goes at the bottom, and then I'm going to put this on top of it. And I fold this bigger UGG one. I fold it in half. So it's like double the thickness. Double the thickness, y'all. That's what I do. And I just tuck it in here. Hopefully y'all can see that. But I just tuck it in. That's all I do. And ta-da! Now since I have a darker sleeping bag on the outside, It's a little bit harder to see like the light and bright colors when I don't have my Reflectix on. But this is all you see, just darkness. So that helps a lot too. But when you open it, you get the pretty girly colors, right? And I like a lot of pillows. So I usually have 2 to 3 pillows, and then I sleep like more elevated. That works for me too. It makes it more comfortable. But anyhow, back to staying alive, keeping warm. So I don't typically sleep with gloves on, but I was recommended to put mittens on, and I actually tried that last night, and it was warm. It was warm. But I don't know, maybe it's like a texture thing. I want my hands free. I want my feet free. I don't put any socks. I make sure to take off my pants and no socks and like no gloves. And I just tuck everything from like my neck, my chest, down below within my sleeping bag system. And minimum like 2 different comfy, soft blankets inside my sleeping bag is what I do. And another super important thing that I do, guys, is I make sure to wear a beanie cap, a soft hat, whatever you want to call it. This right here is my go-to, and it's so stretched out. It's like it doesn't even hold its shape anymore. I've had this for many, many years. I accidentally stretched it out to look like this, which is like, it's super big. But I had washed it and then I put it in the dryer, and I don't know what happened to it. It just stretched out to this. But it's like a super happy accident because it's not too tight. It doesn't constrict my head so much, and it's not uncomfortable. It's very soft and very stretchy, almost like the blankets that I have inside the sleeping bag. So I just put this over, and I put it over and cover my nose. And then basically this is all you see when I'm sleeping, guys. Like from here to here. That's what I have covering me. Of course, I don't have my jacket. Another thing, I try to sleep with a long sleeve shirt. If I have a clean long sleeve shirt, that's what I do. Also, just basically a long sleeve shirt, because sometimes I like to take my arms out. I don't like to have them like all restricted, constricted, however you want to say that, inside my sleeping system. So that's why I prefer a long sleeve shirt. So that's what I do, you guys. I'm just like, I'm sleeping here. And of course I have my Reflectix, but not always. And I used to not have it. So way back when, I would be sleeping not on a cot, but on the actual trifold mattress, but on the floor of the van. It wasn't raised up, so you really couldn't see me in here. I was like way below this little area here. People just walk on by and they can't even see me. But I would basically just put this on top and bundle up to about here and just go to sleep. So it covers my eyes, covers my nose, covers the top of my head, and that helps tremendously help me sleep a lot faster, a lot longer through the night. So that is how I stay warm, how I stay alive during the nasty freezing, below freezing temperatures, you guys. That is my go-to, my tried and true, and it has worked for years. Let's see. I have tried the hand warmers, the hot hands, whatever you call them, and they're pretty warm. They work if you're like shaking them, or you have them like it needs like oxygen or something, and then I you can shake them, move them around, and they heat up and such. But when I'm sleeping, like, I'm not going to be doing all that. I want to be comfortable cuddling to my blankets or my pillows, whatever, and just call it a day, right? Call it a night. But during the day, I prefer mittens, versus these that have the fingers by themselves. These make me colder than having my own fingers, have my own body heat, and have it all clumped together. So these work, mittens work a lot better. Let's see. If you can get, obviously, like the wool socks, weather appropriate material, right? Cotton supposedly is not that good because it absorbs moisture. So if you happen to sweat or anything like that in cold temperatures, then that's not a good combination. Like polyester or natural materials are best. So that's also something to take in consideration. These are actually wool with some other kind of material lined. I don't know. I have some merino wool socks also if I need them. Where I'm staying now, I don't need to have like extreme cold weather gear because it gets down to maybe like 30s, 20s. It doesn't really get like way below that. I don't see it really snowing here and icing and, you know, like extreme like it does in other parts of the world. So I don't have to have like that level of gear. But still, this is how I've stayed warm. And I've been, the coldest temperature here recently that I've been is last winter was -15 wind chills in Oklahoma. And that's where we were. And it was so freaking cold. It was so cold. I called it Antarctica meets Oklahoma. Somehow, I don't know what was going on all over the world. It was horrible. But we got down to those temperatures with snow and ice, etc. And that was the best way that I found to stay warm, stay alive when I was trying to sleep in my van. Just basically strip down as much as possible, cover the top of my head and my nose, and then everything else is like deep inside my my sleeping bag system. When you're first getting to bed, everything is cold, like my extremities, everything's really cold. But you know, as soon as I go inside the sleeping bag and with all the blankets inside the sleeping bag, I start to warm up pretty quickly. So it doesn't take long to have your own body heat kind of regulate that. And then I make sure to zip up my sleeping bag as far up as I can. By the middle of the night, sometimes I wake up too hot and I have to unzip and give myself a little bit more like air circulation, ventilation. So I mean that's a good thing. My body's working, it's keeping itself warm. So yeah, sometimes I have to even unzip myself because I get too hot. But I'd rather have that option of getting too hot than not keeping warm. So that's what I do, you guys. That has been what has worked for me the best. Just basically a sleeping system that helps me survive the freezing and below freezing temperatures. So if you guys have not tried to put a beanie cap, a soft cap, something like this, but super stretchy. This one's not as stretchy. These are the stretchy kind. And somehow, I don't know what happened, but when I washed it and dried it, this happened to it. And it's just floppy, but it is the most comfortable. So I keep it. I've had it for years, like I mentioned. And I put it over my eyes and cover practically all my nose. And I just have like this space right here. Like that's all that I have. And I sleep perfectly fine. Excellent. So that is how I stay warm. That is how I stay alive. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you have some tips for us, put it down in the comments and teach us the ways how you survive extreme weather or extreme freezing temperatures. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you on the next one. Bye. Thanks so much for watching Dia's Frugal Life. I'm Dia, and if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe for more future videos. You can also join the coffee club and be part of this awesome family. I go live on Sundays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, so make sure you stop by and say hi.